Welcome and good evening. We are so happy to have you here with us tonight. And I think my favorite part of this so far was the password that we made up for it, Fab over 50. And that's what we're really here to talk about. We love the Plexus products and we love the Plexus business. And that's what we really want to share about tonight. I'm going to start out just by saying that Plexus makes no guarantee on income or profit that you may earn as a Plexus ambassador. And I love this part. Your success depends on your effort, commitment, skill, and leadership abilities and how effectively you exercise those qualities. So we just want to put that disclaimer out there, but we're here to share our stories because our stories can be your stories. And that's what I love. This business is possible for anyone. And we love to talk about dreaming and vision and living your best life. And that's what we really want to share with you. Maybe, you've never even thought about being part of a network marketing company. Maybe you have been part of one before, but really, and what we love about it is that network marketing is really a personal growth business with a compensation plan attached. That's how I feel about it, because I know I'm not the same person that I was when I started 7 years ago. I've been with Plexus for 7 years and I love it. Like, I will be with Plexus forever because it has changed my life and it can change your life too. And here's the thing. I just want to say too, I loved my life before Plexus, right? But I absolutely love it now because I feel like you can always do better. You can always learn more. You can always just change perspectives. And there's nothing wrong with doing and wanting better. Okay, so you're going to hear from my friends tonight. And then you'll hear, I'll close us out, but we're going to start and we're going to tell you a little bit about our health testimonies, but then we're going to tell you about the business, why we love it. Why is it such a great opportunity? What do you mean by freedom and options and all of those things, right? And so I'm going to introduce you to Carrie. And Carrie's been married for 31 years. She is a boy mom and she's a grandmother. Okay, we're all grandmothers. I have a friend who says to me, "You're the hottest granny I know." And I said, "I'll take it. I'll take that title. That's okay with me." And so Carrie specializes and is certified in holistic health. She actually is a Christian author and has a podcast, and she really loves to help people. I think we all do. We love to see that. And so, Carrie, I'm going to let you take it away.
Oh, well, welcome everybody. So excited that you are here tonight and grateful for the opportunity to share the benefits that this company has afforded me personally, and then has expanded to my family through some legacy opportunities. And I love what Cheryl said. You know, we always have the opportunity to grow and improve. And I believe that a lot of people are good, and maybe you are good with your health. Maybe you are good with your finances. Maybe you're even good with your time. Maybe you have all kinds of disposable time and disposable income. So good for you. But about the possibility of being great? When I got introduced to these products, my friends, I was not good. I was not good at all. I was struggling with a lot of health issues that really did not make sense for my age. This was about 20 years ago. I got diagnosed with an autoimmune illness. I was raising 3 kids. They were 10, 8, and 2 at the time. So it took away my ability to have the stamina for my day, to be present for my family, to sleep great at night, hormone imbalance, weight gain, mood, anxiety, a lot of things that just really took away from my quality of life. And I knew that I was fighting for a purpose, though. I knew deep down inside I was not okay with just taking a pharmaceutical solution. I wanted to fix the problem because it seemed like it could be fixable. And so I sought my care from a holistic professional in town, and we just started working on honestly, a lot of modalities that Plexus offers. But I wasn't really truly seeing the impact of those things. And quite honestly, it was a combination of both Eastern and Western medicine. It was very expensive. It cost my family a lot of money. In fact, I started to experience a lot of guilt about the money that we were expending toward my health costs, because not a lot of it was covered by my insurance, because it was unconventional care when you're trying to fix the root cause, which is just such a frustrating process to think about, how healthcare doesn't want to help people fix the root cause. But so it was expensive. And sometimes it would come down to the budget at the end of the month and go, well, I could take my family on vacation in the month of July, or I could go do this next treatment that is being proposed for me to feel better. So that I started to experience a lot of guilt, and I started to get to a place where I was like, well, maybe I just won't do this as much as I am, because I'm just really not seeing the impact of feeling better. And then I had a friend reach out, and she said, I know what you're going through. You've been very open and honest with me about what you're going through. And she said, I have partnered with a company that has solutions that seems like they would help the things that you're struggling with: energy, sleep, mood, focus, all those things. And I was incredibly skeptical, but my husband was not. He jumped on board pretty much right away, and he was looking for some weight loss, and he began to experience weight loss. But he didn't just experience weight loss. He experienced a better mood. He experienced the fact that he could go up and down our stairs easier without his knees hurting. He came home with a great mood after a very stressful day at work. He had a stressful job for 25 years in law enforcement. And I think the thing that I was most jealous of in witnessing him using these products that I was super skeptical to was the fact that he was happy. And I was not. Every day, I just would say, more often than not, I was not happy. I just did not feel great. And so after watching this for 6 weeks, I said, I've got to see if this is something that can help me. So I began researching. A lot of it made perfect sense. I always say the first patient I practiced on was myself, because I had been working at that point for 10 years to figure out my root cause and work to fix that. And so a lot of the things, when I was on the Plexus website and looking at the ingredients on ProBio5 and BioCleanse and thinking about blood sugar regulation, everything that I had studied about autoimmunity was making a lot of sense in that regard. And so I just said, I'm just going to take this leap of faith. And I started using the products, and I started to feel better. And 4 days later, after telling myself it was a placebo effect, I went to my husband and I said, is this how you've been feeling? And he said, yes. And I don't ever want to not feel this way. And our family always had just enough financially. Anybody out there always have just enough? We always had just enough. Of course, we were raised in a family of 5, and it just seemed like you put away $500 and then a $1,200 expense comes up. So we were always, on the cusp of just a constantly drained savings, and just felt like we could never get ahead financially, both despite having great careers. And that was frustrating financially. It was something that we lost sleep over for many times over our time together. And it was frustrating. And just the idea of what Plexus offers, and that it's designed to be a blessing and not a burden, that was very appealing to me. But I didn't quite realize what I was doing when I signed up as an ambassador. I wanted the best price point. And my friend who introduced me to the product proposed that I make a business out of it. And my first thought was, well, that if you have a product and you're trying to tell people about it, it seems salesy to me. So I was initially off-put by that. And that lasted just a few short hours, because a little bit later on, I began to experience guilt from thinking about how I had felt the last 4 days, and that I knew I had a handful of people that were struggling at the same capacity I was, that I knew that could stand to feel better. So I approached them and I said, hey, this is something that we've been doing. This is my experience. This is my husband's experience. What are your thoughts? And is this something that you might see benefit for? And enough people said yes. And so that was really encouraging to me because I'm a helper by nature. I love helping people. And that was really a really dynamic thing for me, a dynamic component to be able to help people. But I hadn't quite understood the full circle about the business model, about that I was actually getting paid to help those people. And so a couple months into just organically sharing with some friends and family, I was made aware that I had several $1,000s that were deposited into my checking account in that short period of time. And my friend said, "Don't you ever look at your bank account?" And I'm like, "No, money comes in and it goes out, and somehow we manage to be okay." She's like, "You are doing really good." And so I went and opened up my Wells Fargo, and sure enough, it was like deposit after deposit after deposit. I was like, "What is happening here?" And so like right at this 2-month mark, just a lot of things solidified for me. I was like, I can help people and I can get paid. And that's okay. And that's the way I'm created to be, as a helper. So why not capitalize on the fact that I find value in helping people feel better? And the fact that I had been so set back by so many health things that were now all improving, that it turned into purpose for me. So it became very purposeful, and that was unique and rewarding in and of itself, because I was like, I could totally do this for free, but I am not mad about what is happening in my bank account right now. And so once I realized the dynamic of, you know, the whole thing that was working, and I have to tell you, I'm a professed introvert. I'm terribly shy. I had a lot of personal growth to do. I had to reconcile the fact that I was going to have to look people in the eye and have conversation, and then I would have to get in front of people and tell them about my experience outside of social media. And so I started reading books and started looking to ways to grow myself personally. So to say that I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago is 100% true, not only physically, but emotionally, spiritually, and also just in my propensities are still the same, introversion and shy. However, I choose to be impactful. I choose to be a catalyst for people because I have 1000% confidence in what these products offer. And when I think about, okay, so demographically, who is it that we can help in this world? And I'm like, if a person is living, breathing oxygen, eating our SAD diet, you know, our North American Western diet, they need our supplements. They need mitigation of what our food supply does. So that really kind of made like this whole world of possibility open up for me. And so I began dreaming bigger, and then I began helping other people dream bigger, and grew a team and developed this business, and had to get an LLC. So I had some less tax liability on the table, and it's just been an incredible blessing. And right outside this door right now is a 9-month-old little baby girl who's watching Baby Einstein with my husband, and he's been retired now for 6 years. If it not had been for this income, we would not have been able to comfortably retire. We would be challenged in that regard. So it affords us the opportunity to be able to live life on our terms. I work, obviously, this is a job. But it also gives me the flexibility because I get to choose when I work, where I work. A lot of times it's remotely. I'll be gone all next week to a rodeo in Wyoming, and I will be working periodically from my phone because it has that blessing of a remote opportunity. But also to have the flexibility for my son and daughter-in-law to call and say, "Hey, can you watch Lily?" And I can say yes. And I don't have to ask a boss, "Can I have the day off to watch my granddaughter?" It's just, I am the boss and I get to choose. And I'm just so grateful that I've stewarded it for the last 10 years, not knowing what it would be for our family. Initially it helped put 2 kids through college. We actually built up that savings that wasn't constantly drained, became credit card debt free. I mean, so many financial possibilities. Last week, I went to Costco and 2 local grocery stores, and $500 later, I was like, how are families making it in the world right now? Because it is so dang expensive. And there's just 2 of us in the household. We are empty nesters. And I'm like, $500 for 2 of us. That is crazy. It's astounding. So my heart hurts because I know there's so many people out there who are struggling in that same thing. They're like, okay, so cutting back. Well, what if you didn't have to cut back? What if you could increase what comes in and open up more possibilities for your family? So we're just so grateful that we can share what it is that this company offers, that it's a remote business, it's online, it's on your schedule, your time frame, based off of whatever impact you desire to have, and you make it what you want. And it ends up oftentimes, I think more than not, I think it ends up being something for somebody's future that they don't necessarily see today, that God has foreknowledge of, that he provides us opportunities today for what we need, like down the line. So when I think about down the line and what that meant for my family, I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that I would be in this kind of position to be able to be present for my adult children, for my granddaughter, and just have the flexibility of the lifestyle that we are living. And I'm just so grateful for that. So I'm so glad you're here. And I hope that my friend Lori, who is going to be coming up next, has an opportunity to share a little different version than mine. She's definitely passionate about health in similar fashion, where she's gone to school and became certified in nutrition and holistic coaching, and is a very active wife and mom, and a grandma to 9, which is like, how? I can't wait for 9. Just living her life to her fullest in her 50s, retired homeschooler, now earning a 6-figure income while working from her phone. So she started with a really small network, and you don't have to know a ton of people. You just have to know enough. And like I said, not everybody is open to it, but enough people are. So she's just out in the world traveling in her Sprinter van, living life on her terms, and being as present as possible for her family. So I can't wait for you to hear her story.
Thank you so incredibly much. Wow. Okay. So you just made my story a whole lot better, because I'm so inspired by a few things that you said, because those are things that I think, but I've never really actually put into words. And so there's a few things that you said steward, the opportunity that you have. And you also said that you choose to be impactful. So I will tell you guys, before I started this business, I was a homeschooling stay-at-home mom for over 25 years. I had 136 friends on Facebook. I cried when my grandson was born because I could not ask my daughter for help on how to post a picture. I had no idea. And if you look at some of my before pictures, which are actually after I'd had weight loss and results, I did not know how to take a picture on an iPad or a phone. I didn't know that you could turn the camera around. So all of them are me facing the mirror with the screen this way, trying to take the picture, because that's how bad it was. Okay. But what I did have is I did have a desire to be impactful in other people's lives. And so before I got introduced to Plexus, there was this monumental moment for me where I was in the grocery store and I saw an older woman, much older, pushing a grocery cart, and she had an oxygen tank. And she was obviously in so much pain and so debilitated. And I looked at the contents of her grocery cart and I thought, she is really hurting herself and making her situation so much worse. And she doesn't even know it. And the thing that I knew at the time, and the little bit of information I'm going to share with you guys, is a lot of foods that people eat that are so bad for them are actually designed to be addictive. So it's very hard to get off of those types of food. And I read about that and learned about that. And I am every bit of an introverted nerd, not extroverted, none of those things, but I like to learn those things. That really makes me excited. That's my hobby. And so I knew all the things, but I knew also that the road to get off of those types of foods is very long and very difficult. Okay. So picture that. I have 4 children. I have 9 grandchildren. I already was a grandma when I first got introduced to these products. I love fitness. So I love exercise. I started teaching fitness classes at a very early age. It was my jam. I had my last 2 kids back to back. I got mono with my fourth one. First time I'd ever gotten mono. They did blood work and everything. I was super sick. Okay. So I'd always taken really good care of my health. Fourth baby, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to eat some cookies. Like, I'm just going to do whatever I want because I just, I'll lose the weight. I know how to do it. Well, you can't call it baby weight when your youngest child is 7 years old. And everything that I knew to do wasn't really working for me anymore. Okay. And the thing that was difficult, I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't go back to sleep. Digestive issues I'd had since I was a child had really amped up over that 7-year period. And because I was on a lot of antibiotics, I was on a lot of medication that was unavoidable for different things connected to my pregnancies. And so life had just kind of caught up with me and I wasn't able to make it work. Kind of like Carrie, I went to seek help from a naturopath. I was spending over $700 a month in supplements, and I was getting very minimal results. I was getting some, but not much. I remember right before I got introduced to Plexus by my oldest daughter, I had given up. I had said, okay, you're older, you're a grandma. I remember going to a workout class, and I love working out hard, and I just couldn't keep up with anybody anymore. And then I didn't feel like I could recover in between to get back out at it. And that was my fun. Like, that was something I wanted to do. And so I was like, okay, like life is just going to be different. And when she told me about Plexus, because I am so into health and nutrition and everything, and she introduced it to me, she said, Mom, this is helping me with my seasonal allergies. Take a look at it. I'm kind of scared to tell you about it. If it's going to kill me, go ahead and tell me. Otherwise, I need to continue to take it because it's really helping me. So, and she said the perfect thing. I'm forever be grateful with what she said to me. She said, because Mom, can you look at this in a positive way? And if it's okay, really tell me it's okay. Because Mom, you find something wrong with everything. And I got defensive, like nobody wants to hear their daughter say that. And I was like, I don't find something wrong with everything. No, I didn't. So I really looked at it through that lens, instead of just being like, it's pink, it must be junk. And I okayed it for her. I was like, fine for you to take it. It's great. I did not know she had intentions for me to take it as well. And she was like, Mom, you've been complaining about your weight. You've been complaining about not being able to sleep. You've been complaining about your digestion. Why don't you give this a try? And she mixed up a glass of Slim in a mason jar like this. It went back and forth across the kitchen counter, sloshing over the side. And she was like, drink it. I was like, no, so and then she was like, just try it for 5 days. By the third day, I knew I liked it and I knew that I wanted to continue to take it, but I had so much fun making her still think that she was forcing me to take it. So the way I signed up is she said, I'm not giving you free stuff anymore. Where's your credit card? We are signing you up. So she did another great thing after that. And I understood the science. I'll back it up a little bit. I understood the science behind how this product line would be very beneficial in helping people like the woman that I saw at the grocery store, because everything is connected to your blood sugar and your gut health. And so the way to break that vicious cycle for people and give them that leg up, which is kind of like, do you remember when we were kids, you go up to the fence and your friend's trying to climb over and you do your hands like this and they put the foot in and they get up over the fence. So I knew that we had something very powerful that was going to help people stop. And I wanted to make an impact. So when I was in that grocery store, I decided when my kids go to college, whatever, I am going to do something that is going to make an impact for people, because whatever I can do in my own little corner of the world, I'm going to do it. So she got me to an event like this. I got shown the business side of things. And I was homeschooling. I was co-op teaching a class. And I was doing all my own, everything. cooking, we had milk goats, we had gardens, doing all the stuff. And I said I was too busy to do this business. But when I got shown everything that I got shown, and I saw the compensation plan, I decided, I've been praying for a solution for our finances. And I did not think it would come through me. I thought it was going to come through my husband, but this connects with everything that is like my deepest desire that I've actually never shared with anyone. I've never said it out loud to anyone. And so I decided to jump all in with the business. Now I will tell you 10 years later, kind of like what you said, Carrie, like stewarding the opportunity that you're given, like using it as a catalyst. You don't know what your future is going to hold. And so now living in California, all my family living in Tennessee, this has allowed me to purchase a second home in Tennessee. It's allowed me to purchase land right next to my daughter. She will never get rid of me now. And I'm like, this is my retirement home. I'm living right by you. But and it allows me opportunity to travel. I make an incredible income, which was needed, but I am not chained to a desk. So I get to help people, and then I get to help people have the same type of lifestyle that I have now. And another thing is when your kids leave your home and you're an empty nester, this provided that community and friendship. Even though I'm introverted, I didn't think I needed that, but I really enjoy that. Like I've grown into really enjoying that. And then the other thing that I think that this does for me is, like Cheryl opened this up with, it's a personal growth plan with a paycheck attached to it. This is helping me stay young because there's things that I need to continue to learn. And I want to continue to have opportunities where I feel like I want to learn new things and I want to have new experiences and I want to grow and develop myself. And I love our community. Like we're so supportive. And yeah, so that's what I have to say. And Cheryl, let me introduce Cheryl. She is a grandma and loves to work out just like I do. She has retired from a 30-year CPA business, now earning an incredible income with Plexus, able to live the life of her dreams. I think you get to live right by your daughter too. It's like right here because we can. And I'll let you share the rest of your story. And it's such an honor. Thank you for having me here with you guys.
Oh, well, thank you both so much for sharing. And I just love how we each have a little bit of a different perspective, but we love the freedom and options that this brings us. Even in this, I would almost like to say, it's the best season of our life with this opportunity. So I think about, people who, like our kids and grandkids or whatever, or even those who are in their 20s who are starting Plexus. I think, man, it is going to be amazing when you get to our age and you still have that legacy business. But I like to share this opportunity because I think a lot of people in their 40s, 50s, or 60s, I turned 60 this year and love it. Like we had the biggest party. I love to celebrate. I'm an extrovert. Okay. So unlike my introvert friends here, and this is the opportunity that I never saw coming and I was never looking for. So that's the crazy thing about it. And that's why I love to share it with people our age, because you can literally change your life with one decision. And I know that seems a little exaggerated, but it really isn't. We have choices in life, and we really can change the trajectory and how we want to live our life anytime we want. Okay. And so one of the things I wanted to say is, okay, so Lori and her daughter are both diamonds, top of the company, and me and my daughter are both diamonds at the top of the company. I think we are the only two mother-daughter diamond teams, which is super fun. We always say we're going to get our picture together, and we never do. So one day we are going to do that. But that was just a fun little fact. But I also love that Lori talked about, and you know what? I didn't even really tell you my health testimony, but you've heard amazing health testimonies. I have a great health testimony as well. I didn't even start for the products. Okay. So that is something that's unusual as well. I actually started to support a friend in her business. And I just thought, well, if I'm buying the products, I'm going to take them. And even though I thought these are never going to do anything, right? And then my whole health changed, because for me, it was about, I was not comfortable in my skin, but I didn't want to admit that to anyone. I was 40 pounds heavier. I was like 10 pounds heavier than you ever said you were going to get. I was there, and I didn't like myself. And I thought, oh my gosh, is this life? I mean, I really didn't. So I never saw Plexus as that was going to be the answer, but it did. I took the products, I lost weight. I don't have seasonal allergies. I don't have migraines anymore. I don't have hot flashes. I don't, oh my gosh, I don't know. There's so many things. But you know, I feel so good. I feel good in my skin. When you feel better, you have more confidence. That's something else that we talk about too. On this personal growth journey, you have confidence, and that's contagious. That is contagious. And then it was after all that happened that I started working out, because that was something I did love doing as a child, you know, and in my teens and things like that. But I lost all that, you know, during, you know, being a mother and all of that. But it's super fun. I love that. So here we are in our 50s and 60s, and we love working out, and it's so fun to go to the gym. I always say I finally have graduated, and I'll say, yeah, I was over in the big boys section, because I never wanted to go in that section of the gym. But now I'm like, I just go in there, and it's just fun. We love life. We enjoy life. But I love that Lori talked about the community, because the community was something that I didn't expect, but I really needed it. I moved out here to Tennessee in right before I turned 50. And I didn't have any friends out here. I moved from New Jersey. I lived there my whole life. And so it was an adjustment, and I was trying to find friends. And so Plexus became the community that I really needed. Encouraging, uplifting. We laugh a lot together. We work hard, and we have fun. And I never knew a job could be like that. And then we all become friends, and then we all become like family. And I want to tell you a quick little story too. So my business, my business partner and sponsor, and now like my best friend, and she's like my daughter. We actually made up an official adoption certificate because she was Canadian. I said, when you become a US citizen, because both of her parents had passed away, I said, we'll officially adopt you. So we made up a certificate, but you know, that all came through Plexus. And so, you know, let's see. So with her, you know, she just came alongside me and just was very encouraging to bring the opportunity to me. Right. And now that, you know, I did say yes, and I was willing to listen, and we travel together, and we get to do all of those things, right? And then, like Lori said, now my daughter also is involved in Plexus, and she is part of our Plexus dream, because we teach people to dream big, right? Because you can have anything you want if you're willing to work for it. And so we had bought property next door to us, and then they purchased it from us when they were able to move out. And now we've created the life that we always dreamed of. And the same thing as with Carrie, like 2 days ago, Megan calls up and she's like, well, the boys want to come over to take their naps. I'm like, okay, because they love napping here. And I mean, who doesn't love napping in a log cabin? So they brought their blankets over and all that, but I could do that. I can be present for the moments that I want to be present for, and then work when that works in my schedule, because we do work hard. I want everyone to know that we do work hard, but it's fun and we enjoy it, and we get to help people. Like, that is our job. And we work for ourselves, and Plexus has laid out everything for us that we need. So we're entrepreneurs, but Plexus did the hard work. They created these amazing products. We've got a scientific and a medical advisory board. We've got people who make them. We've got people who ship them. We've got a website. They have all of that for us, yet we work for ourselves. It's like the best of both worlds. And we get to work on our dreams and our goals, because if you're not working on yours, then you're building somebody else's dream in a 9-to-5 world. You're stuck in traffic. There's all these things. Again, we can work from anywhere. And let's see, I guess really the last thing that I want to tell you, first, I want you to make sure that you get back. Thank you for joining us. Get back to whoever it is who invited you. If maybe you're just a customer and now you're thinking, you know what, I can do this. I want to make this a business, and do that, please. And we want to encourage you, because it really is the best community. Oh, I know, one more, and then one story, and then one last thing. When I looked at Alita, and I saw like her team page and all those things that were going on, and I felt like she was having fun working and all that. But I thought to myself, okay, this is before the personal growth happens. I thought, you know what? Like, they already have their group of friends. There's not room for me. But you know what? There is room at the table for everyone. We just make bigger tables, don't we, ladies? And like, there is room for everyone. And I love that. And we want you to join us. Okay. So don't ever think that. All right. And then the last thing I want to leave you with, this is what I always love to end my Zooms with. Okay. Is, are you making a living, or are you making a life? We like to believe that we are making a life. We are creating a life. We are just not existing. We all have a purpose. And we would love it if you would join us. And we just thank you so much for being with us tonight. And we hope that this was helpful. So have a good evening, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.